Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Pramanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gita Sasram Idam Punyam Yapade Prayate Puman Vishnu Padam Avapnoti Baya Sokadi Varjita. Gita Dhyayana Salasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naivam Shanti Papani Purva Janma Kritaricha Maline Mochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakle Gita Mritasnanam Samsaramalanassanam. Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimmanye Sastra Vistare Yaswayam Padmanabhascha Mukhat Padma Vinishrite Bharatamrita Sarvasam Vishnu Bhaktram Vinishrite. Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanma na vidyate. Sarvopani Sadogavo Doktam Gopalanandana Partha Vatsa Sudir Bhokta Doktam Gitam Mritam Mahat. Ekam Sasram Deviki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Deviki Putra Hiva Eko Mantra Tasya Namani Yani Karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. So these are the glorification by Adi Shankara on the Bhagavad Gita. He glorified the Bhagavad Gita as saying that anybody who carefully listened and take seriousness In imbibing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they become free from all kinds of fear. And number 2, by always meditating on the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, one becomes free from previous life karma and become peaceful and happy in his life. And number 3, by bathing with the water, we cleanse our body. By taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita, our all karmic reaction becomes free from us. And in Kali Yuga, at the present time, people won't have that kind of time to read different kinds of Vedic literatures, but there is no requirement to read many kinds of Vedic literatures. Reading Bhagavad Gita alone is good enough. It will bring all the benefit of reading different kinds of Vedic literature, because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he says in India, Bharat Bhumi, the beautiful holy river is flowing, Ganges water. By bathing in the Ganga water, one becomes free from all kinds of karmic reaction, because Ganga water is emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, one can gain all the benefit of bathing in the Ganga water by reading Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is emanated from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And again he said, of all the Vedic literatures, Bhagavad Gita considered to be the Upanishad, the essence of all the Vedas. And Bhagavad Gita is like a cow and Krishna is like a coward boy. He is milking the cow of this Bhagavad Gita and giving the milk to the devotees like Arjuna all around the world. And finally, Adi Shankara, Lord Shiva himself, he made a great prediction that in time to come, in future, the entire world will look for only one scripture. And he says the Bhagavad Gita will become one scripture for the entire world. And entire world will look for only one God to worship, and Krishna will become the Supreme Lord for the entire human society. And the entire world will like to do only one duty, and duty towards Krishna become the prime duty of every living entities. And he has predicted that the time to come, the entire world will look for only one mantra, and the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way, he has made all this glorification and prediction. So we are very fortunate by the great mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, for his taking and sacrificing his life for the entire betterment of the entire human society. Today we got this opportunity to sit together and hear the message directly coming from Supreme Personality of Godhead. Somewhere or other we may not be that qualified, but it's only by the mercy of the great devotees that we got this opportunity to hear whatever been spoken by God Himself 5,000 years ago. So in this way we are very fortunate. Today we'll be reading chapter 4, text 9, chapter entitled Transcendental Knowledge. Janma karma chame divyam Janma karma chame divyam Evam yo veti tadvatah Evam yo veti tadvatah Tyagva deham punarjanma Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti soharjuna. Naiti mamiti soharjuna. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tadvataha. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti soharjuna. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tadvataha. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti soharjuna. Janma, birth, karma, work, cha, also, me, of mine, divyam, transcendental, evam, like this, ya, anyone who, veti, knows, tadvata, in reality, tyaktva, leaving aside, deham, this body, puna, again, janma, birth, na, never, iti, thus attain, mam, unto me, iti, thus attain, sa, e, Arjuna, O Arjuna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Purport: the Lord's descent from his transcendental abode is already explained in the 5th verse. In the 6th verse, one who can understand the truth of the appearance of the personality of God is already liberated from material bondage, and therefore he returns to the kingdom of God immediately after quitting this present material body. Such liberation of the living entity from material bondage is not at all easy. The impersonalists and the yogis attain liberation only after much trouble and many births. Even then, the liberation they achieve, merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord, is only partial, and there is the risk of returning again to this material world. But the devotee, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attain the abode of the Lord after ending this body, and does not run the risk of returning again to this material world. In the Brahma Samhita is stated that the Lord has many forms and incarnation, Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Although there are many transcendental forms of the Lord, they are still one and the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. One has to understand this fact with conviction. Although it is incomprehensible to mundane scholars and empiric philosophers, as stated in the Vedas, Eko Devo Nitya Lila Nurakto Bhaktavyapi Riddhi Antaratma. The one Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many transcendental forms in relationship with his unalloyed devotees. This Vedic version is confirmed in this verse of the Gita personally by the Lord. He who accepts this truth on the strength of the authority of the Vedas and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who does not waste time in philosophical speculation, attains the highest perfectional stage of liberation. Simply by accepting this truth on faith, one can without a doubt attain liberation. The Vedic version, Tadvamsi, is actually applied in this case. Anyone who understands Lord Krishna to be the Supreme, or who says unto the Lord, "You are the same Supreme Brahman," the personality of Godhead is certainly liberated instantly, and consequently his entrance into the transcendental association of the God is guaranteed. In other words, such a faithful devotees of the Lord attain perfection, and this is confirmed by the following assertions. Tameva vidivat mrityumeti nanya panta vidyate ayanaya. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no alternative, because anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is surely in the mode of ignorance. Consequently, he will not attain salvation simply, so to speak, by licking the outer surface of the bottle of honey, or by interpreting the Bhagavad Gita according to mundane scholarship. Such empiric philosophers may assume very important roles in the material world, but they are not necessarily eligible for liberation. Such puffed up mundane scholars have to wait for the causeless mercy of the devotees of the Lord. One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge, and in this way attain perfection. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagano Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Sha. E Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasundubhya Evecha Pasitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vande Nantarbhuteswaryam Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopyat Prasadat Bhakti Sastra Pravartakam Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tadvataha Tyagvam Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mamiti So Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So here, another important advice we are hearing from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that it is very, very important for us to know the actual nature, the actual reason for the Lord to appear in this world. Because we are eternally related with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it's very important for us to understand, to attain the eternal abode of the Lord where we have originated from, and to go back to our original abode. Very important for us to know Lord Krishna. The conclusion of the Vedas, it has said, Bhagavan Sambandha Bhakti Rahabideya Haya Prema Prayojana Vedatina Vastukaya. That the conclusion of the Vedic literature is that we, the living entities, have got eternal relationship with Krishna. Just like we have got some relationship in this world, as a family members, as a friends, as the relatives, all this relationship in the world we have got here is only temporary. We are temporarily have come to this world, and whatever we are connected in this world is everything is temporary. In the chapter 2, text 29th of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Avyaktani bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyaktam nidhanani eva tatraka paridevana. Krishna says, in the beginning we were unmanifested, in the interim state we are manifested, and at the end will be unmanifested again. That means in the beginning we were not here, in interim state we have come here, and finally we won't be here again. Is there anybody going to argue on this statement? That you're going to say, no, that is not true. In the beginning, I was here before anybody else. Now I'm here, and I'll be here forever. Anybody can declare this thing. And before that, in the chapter 2, text 27, Krishna says, Jatasya I dhruvam mrityur dhruvam janma mrityasya cha tasmad apari ariyarite natvam sochitam arhasi. Krishna says that whoever have taken birth in this world, they are very sure to die. And whoever have died, they are sure to take birth again. Is there anybody wanted to argue on this statement. No, that is not true. Everybody else will die, but I will live forever. At one time, Yamaraj asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, what is the most surprising things in the world? We have got a lot of surprises in the world, but we are not knowing what is the most surprising things is that Yudhishthira Maharaj says, Ahani bhutani gachantiya yamalayam sesastavaram ishanti kimmascharyam ataparam. Yudhishthira Maharaj says that every moment the souls are flocking to the house of death, but a foolish person, he thinks that he will not die. So this is our position in this world. At every moment we are hearing somebody is dying in this world, and we ourselves are personally participating some of the final rites of a dead person. Still we don't consider that one day we will be also on that coffin box. We are so ignorant in this world, we are thinking everybody else will die, but I will live forever. There was a great devotee of Lord Shiva by the name of Patinathar, a very rich man, wealthy man. He has renounced everything and became a very wonderful devotee of Lord Shiva. And one day while walking in a village, he saw that in a house that somebody have died, and all the family members, relatives, they sit beside the dead body and they are crying and crying. And by that time he himself already renounced the world, and he understands the reality of life, that people have to come to this world and they have to go. Only way you can become a good devotee. Somebody asked Prabhupada, how can I become a good devotee? Prabhupada says, if you know that any time you can die, you can become a good devotee. If you think you're going to live for a long time, you will make all kinds of plans to destroy everybody else. Only me and mine, and me and mine, and me and mine, Pumsa Sriyo. It is happening in this way. So this Patinathar, great devotee, went and saw these people are crying, looking at the dead body. Then he wants to help them, to impart the knowledge to them. And he went and sat beside them, and he also started to cry. But he himself has nothing to do with the dead body or with the family members. But he sat and cried more louder than all the family members crying. He was crying more louder than others. And the family members, they looked at him. They have not seen him before. If a relative means we should know him, but we have not seen him before. So one of the family members asked him, he said, you are crying more louder than us. Are you related anyway with this person who have died? He says that, no, I do not know this person. I do not know anybody sitting here also. I am not related to any of these people. And that person asked Patinathar, if you do not know this dead body, if you do not know anybody here crying, you are not related to them, why you are looking at him and crying? And for that he says that, no, I'm not looking at him and crying, I'm looking at all of you and crying. Why you are looking at all of us and crying? He says that you are crying because he has died and gone. But without knowing that you also will die one day, looking at the way you don't understand the reality of life, that you will die one day, looking at your ignorance, I'm crying and crying and crying. So in this way, in the material world, we are not understanding the subject matter, that we have taken birth and we are very sure to die. In the chapter 2, text 22, Krishna says, Vacham si jirnani yada vihaya navani griyate naro parani tada sarirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyani navani dehi. Krishna says, just like you're giving up the old garments, the old dress, old clothes, and putting up the new, similarly when a person dies, he give up this body and he will attain another body. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tada deyantara praptir dhira satranam muyati. In the chapter 2, text 13, Krishna says, just like the embodied soul pass through this childhood body to youth to old age, and at the time of death you will enter into another body. Anta kale chama mevam smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati natri antra samsaya. And in the chapter 8, text 5, Krishna says that only of thinking of me, you will come back to me. Very, very important what we think at the time of death. And in the chapter 8, text 6, Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajanti ante kalevaram tam tami vaiti kaunteya sadatat bhava bhavita. Whatever person think at the time of death, he will attain that body without fail. If you think of your dog at the time of death, you become a dog in your next life. And we are very proud to keep few dogs in our houses. From morning till night, we are thinking about the welfare, the benefit of this dog. As somebody, they love their dog, somebody love their cats. They don't understand the danger that your consciousness develop another life for you. So Krishna told Arjuna at the chapter 8, text 7, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu ma manusmaram yudhyacha mayarpita manobuddhir mamivasyasi asamsayam. Arjuna, always think of me with your mind and intelligence, and you carry out your duty of life in this way, surely you will come back to me. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya ghamina paramam purusam divyam yati pata nuchintayam. In the chapter 8, text 8 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, by constant remembering of me without any deviation, he said, surely you will come back to me. And this Bhakti Yoga process is very, very easy. Very easily we can go back to Krishna and finish off all the trouble and difficulties of this material world. Material world is a very troublesome place, very, very problematic place. In the chapter 8, text 15, 16, Krishna explains, Mamupetya punarjanma dukalayam asasvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gatham. Arjuna, this material world is temporary place and is full of miseries. Abrahma bhuvana loka punarhavartino Arjuna mamupetyantu punarjanma nakudyate. And he says even Lord Brahma has to go through these miseries of life. So in this way we are living in the material world with the borrowed time. Material world is also borrowed place. It's not our own place. And we are living in the borrowed temporary material world with the borrowed time. Anytime the call may come to leave this material world. So in this way we have to understand is a full of trouble here. There was a man, he went to see the doctor and he had his medical checkup and doctor told him, you have got a good news and bad news. So the patient, the man asked the doctor asked him whether you wanted to hear the good news or bad news first. He says, please tell me the bad news. He said, according to your medical checkup, I can see that you have got cancer and you've got another 10 months only to live in the world. This is the bad news. And the patient asked the doctor, what is the good news? The doctor said, along with this cancer, you got another disease called Alzheimer's, the forgetfulness of memory. There you'll forget you got cancer and you'll die without knowing you got cancer. This is the good news for you. Mahaprabhu say, Krishna, Boli say, Jiva. Mahaprabhu said, the problem in the material world is not about your wife. Your wife is not a problem. The husband is not a problem. The children are not the problem. Krishna, Boli say, Jiva. Anadhir bahir mukha ateva maya tare echa samsara dukha. What is the problem? The problem is that you have forgotten Krishna in your life. And that forgetfulness have emanated in the form of anger, emanated in the form of attachment, emanated in the form of lust, and emanated in the form of frustration. And whatever we are going through in our life, we are blaming everybody else except us because we have forgotten Krishna. If you know Krishna, then you know whatever happens in your life, there are factors are there. Because not knowing the reality, the knowledge of life, people, when the good things happens, we take the credit, oh, it's all happened because of me. When the bad things happen, you blame everybody else. You blame the whole world. All because of these people. But it's not true. Whatever happens in our life, there's a reason. Even in the chapter 13, text 21, 22, 23, Krishna explained. Karya karyate vidanotam. He says that whatever happens in the material world, the nature is the cause. Whatever happens within you, you are the cause. Purusa prakriti stoyi bhungte prakriti jangunan karananguna sangasya sat asat yoni janma. So good and bad comes into your life according to the association you take in your life. If you associate with the good people, you get the good result. If you associate with the bad people, you get the bad result. So in the 18th chapter, text 13, 14, 15, 16, Krishna explains the factors that conclude any action in your life. Panchaitani mahabhavo karanani nibhudame sankhya kritani proktani suddhaye sarva karmanam. In the chapter 18, text 13, Krishna says, whatever happens in somebody's life, there are 5 reasons are there. Adhisthanam tada karta, karanam cha pradagvrta, vividam cha pratakcheta, daivam chaivatva panchamam. Krishna said, number 1 reason, your body is 1 reason. 2, your soul is 2nd reason. Your knowledge acquiring senses, the ear, the eyes, nose, the tongue and skin are the 3rd reason. Your action is the 4th reason. And Daivam, the Lord Himself, is the 5th reason. In whatever happens in your life, is not your husband is the reason for you to become miserable. Is not your wife is the reason for you to become miserable. Is not your children is the reason to become miserable. What are the reasons? Your own body is 1 reason. And your soul is another reason. And your senses are the 3rd reason. And your endeavor, your action are the 4th reason. And Krishna Himself is the 5th reason in your life, in whatever happens in your life. Sariravan mano bhirvit karma prarabhate nara nyayam va viparatim va panchaita tasya ethava. And chapter 18, text 15, Krishna explains, whatever happens through your mind, whatever happens through your speech, whatever happens through your physical body, whether it is good or bad, whether it is justice or injustice, he says everything is caused by these 5 factors, nothing else. Tatraivam sati kartaram karma prarabhate nara. Satraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuya pasyati akirta buddhidvan asa pasyati dhurmati. Krishna says only the foolish people, the ignorance, they never accept this theory that 5 factors are there happening in their life. They are thinking they are the only doer, I and mine, and I and mine, and I and mine. I am the hero. Kundi Devi say, Kevayam nama rupabhyam yadubi saha pandava bhavato darshanam yasha rishikesam ivesatu. Kundi Devi says, my dear Lord, our family are enjoying all the opulences of this kingdom just because of you. The moment you leave the association, you're not with us, and again we will lose everything. Kundi Devi says, everybody comes to the world zero. You came to Germany without even a piece of cloth in your body. But unfortunately, due to ignorance, you claim this is my country. All over the world, people fight for no reason. Everybody knows when they die, they don't take anything from me and go. But unfortunately, because they have become slave to their senses, they cannot control their mind, they cannot control their senses, they have become the servant of their own senses, and they are acting very foolishly. Just like Prahlad Maharaj told the Lord, Yan Maitanadi Giriyamedi Sukhame Tucham. In the Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 45, Prahlad Maharaj says that about the pleasure of this world. He said the pleasure of this world is like a itchiness in your hand. You get some itchy in your hand, you rub to make it better, and you're rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and it's become warm and hot, and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and your skin spills from there. What is in the beginning you felt like a pleasure, later it's become a pain. Everything you add in your life is only adding in more pain in your life. When you are single by yourself, you think that I look for a girlfriend. If I can get a boyfriend, I'll be happy, I'll be peaceful, and that will be some additional help for me. So we find some partner so that we can help each other. But the moment you find the partner, it's become additional problem in your life. You cannot sleep at night. And you're thinking maybe because we are not married, maybe getting married will be more better, and it become very helpful in my life. Then you get married, it's become more additional problem. And you think that by begetting a children, they will reduce the problem, and children comes in, they make more problem for you. In this way, everything in the material world, Krishna says that the material world is the miserable place. And Kundi Devi says you came to the world zero, and you leave the world zero. In between, you feel you are like a little bit hero. Because you got some education, you got some good job, you have got some wealth, and you are thinking that I'm somebody in the world. So you born zero, you live hero, you die, become zero again. So she said, the life of the human being is zero, hero, and zero. That's all, nothing else. And we are very busy working day and night for this platform of zero. Prabhupada says that there is no profit at all in this material world. Temporarily you make some profit. But ultimately when we die, everything will be taken away from us. Even the person who is next to us, who have been thinking that we are the best lovers, when we die, even that person is not ready to follow us to anywhere else. They may be saying that I love you with my heart and soul. When you die, that's it, pack and send you back. The moment when we hear the news somebody died, what we do, immediately we call. There's a package deal is there. And professionally they have opened a few different companies that they organize everything, how to bury you, how to burn you, how to do final rites, everything. You don't need to worry. And today people hire for people to cry. Those days the children cry for the parents when they die. In Africa recently there is they call the funeral embassy. is a company that, they organize the final rites and you pay them. 5 feet, to dig, this much money, extra 1 inch, extra money. They do everything. So they advertise recently. They're looking for workers. And the qualification is that the workers should be more than 18 years old. And they should know how to cry. And they said they must also know how to cry, independently, individually, and they also must know how to cry collectively. And they must be ready to work overtime because people are dying in many different times. And they must be ready to travel around because people die in different places. So the world has become empty. They are talking so much of love, but the world has become empty. They have to hire everything. So even the own children don't have love to cry, don't have tears to cry for their beloved. So in this way, Kundi Devi says, you are wasting your time in the material world. So it's very important for us to know Krishna, because why? Who can tell me why it's very important for us to know Krishna? I already answered in my lecture today. Anybody can say why it is so important. You know Krishna, you know everything. Okay, anything else? Okay, anything else?
There is nothing else to know after you know Krishna.
Nothing else to know after you know Krishna. Okay, anything else? You have to give me the perfect, the answer, because already the Krishna said these things. Why you need to know Krishna? You may not be born again. That is also, it is all this, true factor. But, important for us to be connected to Krishna. We must know Krishna. Why is that? Yeah, but why? Because I've said here, because... Yeah, why? Then what you're doing every other thing except, to know Krishna. The reason is that whatever happens in your life, the 5 factors, Krishna is one of that. Without Krishna, you are not functioning at all in this world. In the chapter 10, text 39, Krishna says, Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tat aham arjuna natadasti vinayachan. He says that Maya Bhutam Charatcharam, that without him nobody exists in this world. So whatever happens in our life, Krishna is one of the reasons. He is the shell order of your company. If you're running a company, you got a shell order, you cannot do anything without the shell order. So for that reason, we must know Krishna, because he's a part of your life, he's eternally with you. And anything happens in your life, that is also one of the person who are, responsible. So for that reason, Krishna, Prabhupada here, he says in the purport that to come out, from the trouble of life and to know Krishna nicely, Prabhupada says one should develop knowledge and faith in Krishna consciousness. So in the chapter 13, text 20, chapter 13, text 8 to 12, Krishna explains about the knowledge. In the chapter 13, text 6 and 7, he says, Mahabhutani ahankara buddhiravyaktam evacha indriyani dasekam cham pachentriya gocharam ichadvesa sukha dukkha sangha ata chetana drita itat setram samasena savikaram udaritam. Krishna said the material body is made of 24 elements. And when it's interacting, then that bring in the results of happiness and distress, liking and dislikingness, anchoring and lamentation. All the result of our life is coming due to the interaction of these 24 elements. And the material body is considered to be the field of activities. Now Krishna is saying the soul within the 24 elements, the soul is stuck within the 24 elements. For the soul to become free to go back to Krishna, you must have 20 things known as knowledge in your life. You cannot blindly practice Krishna consciousness. You cannot chant Hare Krishna one side and another side you fight with another devotee. You tell lies, you fight, and you gossip and you blaspheme. You cannot do any of these things. Bhakti, Jnanam, Vairagyam. Mahaprabhu coming. Bhakti, Jnanam, Virahita Gosti, Idharo Nakharavya. Beautifully he says that. Don't join in a place where they are not practicing bhakti together with knowledge and detachment. Just because somebody is singing very nice bhajan, you don't go and sit and try to enjoy if they don't have knowledge and detachment. Because bhakti has to be practiced with knowledge and detachment. What is knowledge and detachment? Whatever favorable for bhakti we take, whatever is not favorable we give up. You're not blind, you accept everything and thinking that Krishna will be very pleased with your bhajan. So in this way, Krishna says that there are 20 things known as knowledge. And other than these 20 things, Krishna said nothing is knowledge anymore. Amanidvam, adambitvam, ahimsa santir arjavam, acharya pasana saucham, dhairyam atma vinigraha, indriyate suvairagyam, an ahankara evacha, janma mrityu jaravyadi dukado sanadarshanam, asakti rana biswanga putradara giryadesu, itat setram samachena, istanisto papatishu, mayi chananya yogena bhakti avya bicharati, vivikta seva devisvam arjavam arati janma samsiddhi. So in this way Krishna explained adhyatma tattva jnanatma jnana tadvam jnanarda darshina ita jnanamiti proktam ajnanam ati anyatha. There are 20 things we must know. It is the knowledge for the soul to become free, come out from the body and go back to Krishna. Number one, the practitioner of devotional service, they should be very humble. Humility is the first principle. You cannot go around boasting yourself. I'm the very big devotee. I've been here for many years and I'm the senior devotee and you should bow down and respect to me. You should not become very proud of your existence. Number one is humility. Number two is pridelessness. Number three, become free from violence. Number four, become a simplicity. Number five is being tolerant. Number six, accepting a spiritual master. Number seven, cleanliness inside your body and outside your body. Number 8 is steadiness. Number 9 is self-control. Number 10, to become free from the object of sense gratification. And number 11, become free from false ego. Number 12, understand the perception of birth, old age and disease and death. Number 13, become detached from everything in the world. And number 14, become free from the family entanglement. And number 15, become equiposed in all the happiness and distress. Number 16, you perform unalloyed devotional service unto the Lord. And number 17, keep away from the mass of the people. Number 18, find the secluded, the right place to practice your bhakti. Number 19, understand the importance of self-realization. And number 20, search for the absolute truth. And Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, this is known as the knowledge for the soul to become free out from this material body. So in this way, we have to practice bhakti with the great knowledge, in the association of devotees with great faith. In the chapter 9, text 3, Krishna says, Astra dhanana purusa dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara varitmani. He says, you perform devotional service without faith. If you're performing devotional service without faith, Krishna says you have to come back again to this world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, Srivas Pandit, and he was not going to work. He was so much absorbed in bhajan. And he got a family to take care. And Mahaprabhu one time told him, you got a family and you are not giving importance to your family. Always you are in the bhajan. So how are you going to maintain your family? And Mahaprabhu says, if you think that you're not interested with the family and anything, and you should take sannyas. And Srivas Pandit says, no, I'm not ready to take sannyas. And Mahaprabhu says, if you're not ready to take sannyas and you're not doing any work, how are you going to maintain your family? And that moment, Srivas Pandit, he clapped 3 times. He clapped 3 times towards Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu says, what is the meaning of this? And Srivas Pandit says that a man survives, he needs 3 meals in a day. Morning, breakfast, lunch and dinner. If I don't get that 3 meals in a day, he says, I will take a rock, tie it around my neck, I will go and jump into the well. Krishna will give me the 3 meals. If I believe and I do the bhajan for him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is the symptom of a great devotee. That you got so much of faith that Krishna will maintain your life. So in this way we have come to Krishna consciousness. Externally we are doing every right things to be in the organization, to be in the association, and slowly we have to develop our inner self so that we can develop the bhakti, devotional service to the Lord, and we can do it with great knowledge and faith. And in this way, this very lifetime, we can go back to Krishna. It's a very simple process, very nice process. All you have to do is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, when Subhadi Roy came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Mahaprabhu that the Muslim have converted me by sprinkling some water. By sprinkling some water towards Subhadi Roy. And the Muslim says, now you're converted, you're Muslim now. And he says, I went to all the Smarta Brahmanas, asked them what is the Prayachita, what is the atonement. And all the Smarta Brahmanas says, you go back to your house, you take a tin of ghee and boil the ghee and you drink it. So they said, there is no atonement. He said, you have to die. And he cried to Mahaprabhu, please tell, what is the atonement, what I have to do? And Mahaprabhu says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Yava Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva Gatir Anyataha. Mahaprabhu says, in Kali Yuga there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. My dear Subhadi Roy, for all kinds of problem of life, there is only one solution in Kali Yuga. Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and remain in the association of devotees. And that is the only solution for the problem of life. So the process is very easy. You don't need to worry about the 20 knowledge, you don't need to worry about anything else. All been concluded and brought in a very simplest way. That is to chant Hare Krishna and remain in the association of devotees. And this very lifetime you go back to Krishna already. No need to come back again to Germany and take birth here. And you're very confused because all the leaders are very confused. And they wanted to talk about peace, but they themselves not have peace within themselves. Trump wants to bring peace to the world. Putin wants to bring peace to the world. But none of the guys living very peacefully in their life. Krishna told in the chapter 524, he says, Yonta Sukantar Arama Tadantar Jodir Ivava Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuta Digachati. Krishna says, Yonta Sukantar, you find your peace inside you first. Everything is within you. But unfortunately, they don't even have peace in their own life and they wanted to come together and talk about peace. So this is a failure of so-called modern civilization. So thank you so much for being here today. And anybody has got any questions or any doubts here?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for such an amazing and deep class. And my question is regarding this thing that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that I preserve what my devotee has and provide what he lacks. But then in case of Srila Prabhupada, we see that and Prabhupada, he quotes this verse when he sees that his business is incurring so many losses, and he quotes this verse which says that it's my great mercy upon a devotee, I take him off his riches to and shred him into poverty as a showing of my special mercy. Could you please elaborate?
That is the verse in the chapter 9:22. Ananya chintayanto mam ejana paripasate tesam nitya bhuktanam yogam semambaham. To my devotees, I give them what they like and I preserve what they have. The other one is that yasyaham anugrahaname karisya vachanta. That Yudhishthira Maharaj, he told Krishna that we Pandavas, we do not know you, anybody else other than you, my dear Krishna. But why we are put into so much of trouble and difficulties of life? For that Krishna says, yasyaham anugrahami, that is my, mercy upon you. He says that you are blindly believing and having faith with all your kinsmen and everybody. You don't even know who's your friend and enemy of your life. So that when you have been put into some difficulty, then you're able to see who's your friend, who's your enemy. And now come to Prabhupada's subject matter, that Prabhupada says that, that he has taken away everything from Prabhupada. And Krishna doesn't take away from everybody, only from the qualified devotees. Because Krishna needed their service. And it's not the same. Prabhupada was once admitted in the hospital in America, and the devotee said, Prabhupada is very sad to see that you are lying down in the hospital. Prabhupada said, that is not true. He says, just like the cat, it carries the kitten inside his mouth, and he also carries the mouse. So when the kitten is carried by the cat, the kitten feels very comfortable. When in the same mouth, when the mouse is carried, the mouse feels very uncomfortable. It may look like both living entities into the same mouth, but one feels comfortable, one feels uncomfortable. So the devotee always feels comfortable because he sees Krishna in everything. Prabhupada gave an example just like the mother. The mother, one son is healthy, another son he got a sickness, disease. So the mother gives a nice food to one son, the healthy son, and she tells the unhealthy son, oh, you don't eat. It's not the mother don't love him, but that also for his own betterment. So one by giving food, one become healthy, another one by not giving food, he can become free from the disease condition. So whether the Lord slaps you or whether he hug you, only for your own betterment, just like the parents, sometimes they give so much love to the children, and when the children are going a little bit out of order, then they also, they show a little bit of, strength into that, relationship. So whether the parents, they are slapping or hugging the child is only for the betterment. One of the Alwari says that my dear Lord, whatever happens to me, I only have to come to you because you are everything for me. He says that just like the mother is cooking in the kitchen and the child, going and crying to the mother, oh please, pick me up and pick me up. The father, first the mother, push the child away. No, keep away, I'm cooking, I'm busy. Keep away, I'm cooking, I'm busy. And try to push the child away. But the child again crying and coming back again. And ultimately the mother has no choice, he picks up the child. Similarly, the Alwar says that, my dear Lord, you are the everything for me. Whatever you do with me, you are my father, you are my mother, pitaham asya jagato mata data pitama. You are everything for me. Because you are, neglecting little bit, it doesn't mean I have to go and find another mother. Just like in your own house, your mother is not responding to you, doesn't mean that you wanted to go and find a new mother outside. Just like the child have no option, come back to the real mother. Similarly, whatever happens to us, we have no option, we only come back to you. So in this way, for the devotees who are very mature, very advanced, they understand all this taking away is good for him. It makes him to become more submissive, more humble. When there is something is with us, we become attached to it. And in the chapter 2, text 62, 63, Krishna said, Dhyayaton visayam pumsam, sangate supajayate, sanga sanjayate kama, Kama krodha bijayate kroti bhavati. So in this way, Krishna says that when you become attached to the object of the senses, when you are so much, focused into the object of senses, you become attached to it. The attachment creates, lust for you. Lust create anger. Anger create delusion. Delusion create bewilderment. And, bewilderment, creates loss of memory. When the memory is lost, you lose your intelligence and you fall back again to the material world. So Krishna knows what is good for you. It may not be good for you because we may attach to certain things. But Krishna knows by doing this thing, He is doing a favor for you. Because otherwise the same thing may cause you a great, obstacle in your advancement of Krishna consciousness. So whether Krishna gives or Krishna takes, ultimately is only for the betterment of His own devotee. And when Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj what boon you want, Prahlad says, I don't want anything. No, I would like to give you something. And Nrsimha says, I would like to give you something. Prahlad says, no, I don't want to do business with you. You give me this, you give me that. Now Nrsimhadev says that, no, you ask something. And Prahlad says, I'm worrying about my father. And Nrsimhadev said, don't worry about your father. Anybody become a devotee in a family, 21 generation. Tri sapta pita puta pitri sahate naga. Nrsimhadev said, if one person in the family become a devotee, 21 generations, 7 before, 7 now, and 7 after, 21 generations, they will be liberated. So your father is liberated, don't worry about this thing. What you want to tell me? I would like to give you something. And Prahlad Maharaj said that, my dear Lord, I don't want anything, I don't like to do business. But if you wanted to give me something, I only ask for one thing. What is that? He said, Yadi dasyasi me kaman varam tuam varadar sabha kamanaradim asamroham bhavatas tubrine varam. That I pray that you take away all the material desires from my heart and make me your pure devotees. And he said, Prayena deva munaya somakti kama maunam charanti vijanena paratanista. He said, all the yogis, they are frightened of this material world, frightened of the city, and all ran away to the forest, thinking that there's so much of Maya in the city. And to protect themselves, they've gone to the forest. But I don't want to do that. Without coming to your lotus feet, the living entity cannot be happy. Let me stay in the city and preach your glories and bring them unto your lotus feet. So the devotees takes lot of trouble, lot of challenges. Is not, it's become a burden to them. He enjoys every moment of his interaction with Krishna. At the end of the day, you know that there is no difficulty at all in this world. All are here. Nothing else. Uddhava asked Krishna one time, why the living entities are going through so much of a difficulty. And Krishna asked him back again, who is going through difficulty, the body or the soul? And Uddhava got stuck, he is not able to answer. And Krishna says the body is a dead body. That means dead body, you kick the dead body, and the dead body is not going to protest. So there is no life in the dead body. So dead body have no pain and pleasure. So that means the dead body is not going through difficulty. And the Atma, the soul, is Satchidananda, is eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. And he also not, subjected to the miseries of life. So who is suffering, you tell me? Krishna says, all are here, nothing else. And Prabhupada says, just like you are sleeping and dreaming, the tiger is chasing you. And you are very frightened, the tiger is chasing you. Then you woke up and see, there is no tiger, there is no danger. And similarly, when you go back to Vaikuntha Loka, to the abode of the Lord, there you will be woke up. And the moment you woke up, you will know that you had a very bad dream in Germany. There was a very, very bad dream that I was in Berlin, I was in Munich, and I was around the Simhachalam area. And I met this guy, I met that guy, went through, I was married to this guy and got children, so much problem. And you understand that was a very bad dream. Nothing is true yet. Finish, pack and go back. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande.